Everybody, sitting in my car because this is where I have to do schoolwork today. So I just want to say, first of all, wow, I thought that video was really amazing, and the concepts that she brought up were extremely interesting to think about. I think it's the same, very similar as in the last video that we watched, where we were talking about trauma and how trauma is one of the things that helps us to be creative. And the idea that our creativity is, because it's born out of that, the way we view how we get creative is kind of interesting. Like how things have changed and how cultures used to view creativity versus how we see it now, and how that affects our attitudes and our outlooks and how all of that has changed. I think that I really like the idea that we're just showing up for our part. That's just what our job is, regardless of whether our genius shows up. Our job is to just try. I believe personally that a lot of our creativity comes from God, and that it can be fleeting, and that is intentionally fleeting. We're not always going to be creative. We're going to have blocks, and God fills in those gaps if we're listening to him properly. I think it would take a lot of pressure off. I think it does take a lot of pressure off to recognize that it isn't just about us. And I just think about how depressing it is to think that the most creative and successful part of our work might be over when we have so much life left to live. It makes me think about how we often say, as a Christian, we say that God's best is sometimes removing something from our lives, and sometimes that could be our creativity, that God may be removing an idea or a project because we're not ready for it. We're not listening properly, or to protect us from pitfalls of too much success, like she was talking about narcissism and thinking that I'm better than everybody else. Just the bigger plan of when we're gifted that creativity. Likewise, when we are ready for a success like that, he gives us a boost in finalizing whatever that idea is and really solidifying it and giving us the creativity to make it successful, even if we may not have the entire idea when we start. Like with writing specifically, we start our papers, and if we're listening, we might have an idea or a concept that's going to be new, that would be something that we wouldn't necessarily have gone down that road with our writing. And so I just thought overall it was just a really interesting video, and I'm probably going to watch it 3 or 4 more times just because I loved how she put things, and I feel like I can probably pull more information out of it when I'm not sitting in my car. So hope everybody has a great week.